Good day, everyone. I wanted to get this last Everything Circles challenge video posted so then I can put my book together. I'm anxious to get it all together and done. So for day 26, I started with some golden paint, and it is in the color Indian Yellow Hue. And I thought I'd try this thing with the Vaseline. I've seen it done. I think Birgit did it for one of her challenges, maybe. I don't know if it was for the Everything Circles challenge or if it was for something else, but I did see her do it. And I didn't rewatch it to see what she did, so I'm thinking maybe I didn't do it right. But oh well, I still got some sort of resist. So this color is Nickel Azo Gold. And you can see the circles start to come through. So, yeah, it shows up. Not sure if I like it or not, but this is an art foamy, and this one is designed by Enid Kessler, and it's called Foambinations Retro Border. Art foamies are great for stamping and mixed media projects. I find you don't have to worry about wrecking them. They're resilient. I love them, especially for mixed media. I mean, the products that you use, it's usually wet media. And with your other stamps, you kind of feel limited to like inks. But the art foamies, you can use paint and you can use ink, among other things. So this is another art foamy, and it is called Seed Pod. I'm not sure who designed this particular one, but it is from Art Foamies. I hadn't meant to get the, it's almost like a brick red, and I realized why I did. The black was still wet, so it made the red dirty, but I like it. And I really wanted to add teal in those open areas, but the gel pens weren't working, and I didn't have a teal Posca pen or any other marker that would work. So I am using my white to just bring out the design in the Seed Pod art foamy more. So I really like the design in it, and it's more circles, which adds to the theme. So I decided to paint, and I thought, why am I starting this? I am so going to regret it, because I thought it was going to be really tedious and a pain, but it wasn't very bad at all. Like, I have a very thin paintbrush, and honestly, it wasn't annoying. I really thought it would be, but it wasn't that bad at all. And I really like the pop of teal in there. Well, actually, it's called Bright Aqua Green. It's just a Liquitex Basics paint. Okay, imagine if I didn't speed it up. I sped it up to, I think it's like times 20. And to me, it still feels slow. So I wanted to add a quote in the middle, and with the background being so busy, I knew I couldn't just simply add it over on that piece. So I was trying to decide whether or not to use a transparency or vellum. And with a transparency, like, I know it would look cool, but I think the background was just too busy and it may have been hard to read the quote. So I ended up going with some vellum. And you can still see the background behind it, but you're easily able to read the quote. So with this quote being so big, I did it in pencil first. And I like this quote. It says, when you find people who not only tolerate your quirks, but celebrate them with cries of "me too," be sure to cherish them, because those weirdos are your tribe. I like that one. I think it's very cute. Okay, so I didn't show the whole process of tracing it onto the vellum. I don't think I did, because I figured you saw me do it on the paper. You didn't need to see me do it on the vellum as well, because all I'm doing is tracing it. And then I decide to color in some areas with white. And it really makes it pop. See, I love that. But it's hard not to want to add white everywhere. So that's where I struggle. When I like something, I just want to do it more. So it's hard to hold back and know when to stop. So to add it to my page, I am just going to use some brads. Luckily, I have tons, well, maybe not tons, but I have quite a few of brads and eyelets and stuff like that left from my scrapbooking days. A lot of my scrapbooking stuff has come in handy for mixed media. See, another good reason not to get rid of it all. I have so much paper though, scrapbooking paper. I can't bear to part with it. I found it was worse when I was scrapbooking compared to mixed media, like, I find with mixed media, yes, there are things that, new stuff that comes out and you're like, oh, I want that. I have to have it. Like the Distress Oxide sprays and the inks and stuff like that. But I found it so much worse with scrapbooking. To me, scrapbooking, it was like the buying of the products was a hobby in itself, because I wanted all the new stuff, all the pretty papers and all that, and I would hoard it, and I wouldn't want to use it because then it would be gone. And it's so silly, but that's the way I was. And now I have all this scrapbooking stuff. So I try not to do that now with mixed media. I figure if I use it and I really, really love it, then buy some more. Or move on to something else that has come out that you absolutely love, because there's going to be something more. So now we have moved on to day 27. And so you'll notice this background was just off stamping from the last page I did. So I just went in with some bright aqua green for the background. And now I'm taking that Hero Art stamp that I absolutely love and just masking off the circles, so I just get it on the background, which in the end didn't even end up mattering if I got it on the circles because I cover them up. And that's a Stabilo All pencil in black. I want to soften up the edges, so I'm just adding a little bit of white, and it gets a little bit grungy looking because of the Stabilo All pencil. The wet paint is activating the pencil and making it, some areas the white was almost looking a bit gray. And my beloved Posca paint pens again. Just wanted to add some more to the background. I thought I was going to end up doodling a lot on the background, but I ended up doing other things. I have no idea where the idea of doing those lines came from. I just wanted to do something in the background, and that popped into my head. And then I decided I wanted to color every other one to make it stand out a little bit more. And I'm just using Prisma color pencils. And then I'll go in with the gray in the, like in that merging point, like the where the I can't find my words. It's just in the point where the 5 lines come out from. I cannot figure out how to say what I want to say, but you see what I'm doing. Oh, don't you hate it when that happens? I was like that Friday at work too. It was like the simplest things. I couldn't remember the words for it. I was just like, my brain just shut off, and I was like, nope, not using words today. Just gonna walk around and not speak. So here's some Art Alchemy paint, and I'm going to use 2 colors. It's Coral Reef and Wild Fuchsia. So one of the girls that posted on my last video, she'll love this. She said she didn't like pink because I commented that I didn't like purple, and she said she didn't like pink, so she'll love this. And then it gets covered up with some lime green, which is another color she said she didn't like. Haha. It's okay, you can post something with purple on it. Yeah, the idea I had was to stamp on the circles, and that's what the background for the circles would be, and that would be it. But I didn't like it once I added it to the page. It felt like too much or something, I don't know. So I didn't go with that idea. And I really didn't know what I wanted to do for these circles, and I actually walked away from it and just went to my computer and probably watched some YouTube videos or something. That's what I'll do sometimes if I'm feeling stuck on something I'm working on. I just shut off the camera, stop playing, and then go play a game on my iPad or watch some YouTube videos just to walk away from it and to not think about it for a bit. And when I did that, and I stood up to look around, like just to see if my eye caught anything that I could use, and I saw these things, which I'm not sure, like I know what paper pad they're from, but I don't recall what project I had done, but I couldn't bear to part with these pieces because I thought, like, I love the paint colors that are on them, and I just kept thinking I can use those someday for something. And they're almost all used up now. I think I have like a couple pieces left. And I just sewed around it. And I knew I was going to sew it. That's why I only used the glue stick to adhere the paper down. I toyed with the idea of turning them different ways, but in the end I had to have them all going the same way for some reason. And I'm not usually like that. I usually like things wonky, but for this one, I wanted them all going in the one direction for some reason. So once I cut off the circles that were going over the edge of the page, I went around the perimeter of the page with the sewing machine again. So you don't see it on here, but you'll see it in the pictures. There you go. I just went around once. So I had this piece of paper with 2 circles cut out of it, and I don't even remember what it's from. I'm sure it's from the challenge here somewhere. But it gave me the idea to just cut out more circles and then to put something behind it. So I'm just using a variety of paper punches. I am so bad at circles that if I saw a circle punch in a size I didn't have, and again from my scrapbooking days, then I would get it because I could not cut circles for the life of me. So I have many circle cutters. Does anybody have this old tool? Making memory. It's an eyelet setter. It punches holes and it sets eyelets. I've had this one. Oh goodness. I don't think it's my very first eyelet punch. No, my very first one was the one where you held one piece and then you used a little hammer to set it. and to punch the holes. So this would have been my second until I really came up in the world and got this big daddy, which is another eyelet setter. Big chomper or something? I don't know. See, I still use my scrapbooking stuff. And that's something I could have done too. I could have pulled out my scrapbooking papers and put it behind that black piece of paper, and that would have looked really pretty. And it would have been so much easier. So this stamp, it's a caramel stamp. Oh, and I did not write down the name of it. Hold on. Now this one is by Birgit Koopsen, and it is called Background with Circles. And it's a huge stamp. It is very, very big. It's an extra, extra large. And I will get my ruler and measure it for you. This stamp measures, at its longest point, almost, I'm going to go with 11 because it's hard to see the shape of it. It's hard to get the exact. So about 11 inches long by, say about 7. So that's a big stamp. It's the biggest one I own. I love caramel stamps. They are always so gorgeous and so detailed, and I don't know. I love them. Okay, so for the background of this, I decided to go in with some Distress Oxide inks. And we have more pink. I think there was a time that I didn't like pink as well. But I think it was many years ago when I was just sick of, like, you know, pink having to be for girls. It's like, give me a break. But I've grown to like pink again. And I think it was art that made me like pink again. But my absolute favorite color would have to be like, you know, teal, aqua green, like, you know, that family. And I love gray. Gray is more for decor, like my house, and that's when I loved gray. Just going over the whole background with some Distress Glaze. And then I'm going to use this Miracle tape. It's a double-sided sticky tape to adhere my black circle page to the background. Oh my gosh. That was a bit weird. Sorry for that. Hope I didn't give you guys seizures for that. I just traced those, and that is it. Oh, I did have this written down. I was looking at the wrong one. So the Distress Oxide colors that I used were Twisted Citron, Cracked Pistachio, Picked Raspberry, Ripe Persimmon, and Squeezed Lemonade. I think that's what it says. Yeah, and that's all the info I had. Okay, day 20, what day would that be? 29. For this one, I took an Art by Marlene stamp and used some embossing ink and embossing powder. I actually used 2 different embossing powders. One was just a regular gold, and then the other one was a gold glitter. And I didn't want nothing but glitter, I just wanted a little bit, so that's why I combined the 2. And how satisfying is that to see it melt? I love that. It's just one of those weird things, like peeling the paint off the brayer. Just one of those weirdo things that bring me joy. So I just slowed this down and went in close so you could see it. I love Art by Marlene's background stamps. The other circle one that she has, it's like scribbly circles with some numbers and letters in that among it. That one is my absolute fave. So I just have these little containers, and instead of throwing out the extra embossing powder that was left over, I couldn't put it back in its original container because it was too mixed together. So I just put it in one of those, and I can use it in the future. So how many of you that watch these videos actually participated in the Everything Circles challenge? And if you did you complete it, or are you still catching up? Or did you just say, forget it, I'm done? There was a couple times. Actually, for this one, I knew I wasn't going to give up because, I don't know, I just love Birgit's challenges. And if I'm going to stick with one, it's going to be hers. I don't know why. I will. And with it being 30 days, it feels more doable. It's like, okay, I have to stick with it for 30 days. Now that 100-day challenge that people are doing, wow. Like I've said before, they amaze me. So I know I couldn't stick with it for 100 days. I don't even think I would really, really try. There's too much other stuff that I want to do. And I find when I'm doing these challenges, it's all that I have time for. So 100 days, that's like 3 months. I want to do other stuff. Yeah, all my pens seem to be dying on me this week. My Poscas are wearing out, and my gel pen. And that makes me very sad, because I use those a lot. And I should have backups, and I don't. Just going in with some gel medium. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but these circles are actually from paper that was left over from doing my cover. It's the inside cover page. So you'll see it I'm going to be putting out one more video, and that will be to show me putting the book together. Because the original binding I had for the book, I took apart because the pages were going to be so tight together that they wouldn't have been able to turn very well. So I have to come up with a new way to bind it. So we'll see what that's going to be. Wish me luck. That's what I'm going to be doing next. Once I'm done editing this video, I'm going to put my book together, and I'm not sure when I'll get that one edited and posted for you. So that is it for day 29. And we'll be moving on to the last page. And the last page, I actually did, oh goodness, I would say at least 3 backgrounds. Like this page right here was one of the backgrounds and that is probably at the 3rd time of changing it and trying to make it into something that I liked. And then there was another page that was completely different again. So I ended up just taking one of the backgrounds this is actually from a video I posted using baby powder on the jelly plate. So that is one of the jelly prints I pulled from that. So I'm going to use that for my background. And then, see, that one's another one that I tried, and I just wasn't liking the backgrounds that I was doing. It's like I wanted color and I wanted something to it, but I didn't want it too busy. I had a really hard time with the background. And I have no idea where I got this idea to do the whole spirally thing. I knew I wanted something different and something a little cool for my last page. And I was chatting with somebody on Instagram, and I swear I had just finished typing the words, I don't know what I'm going to do for my last challenge, and seconds later I was like, oh my goodness, I have an idea. And it was this. And like I said, I have no idea where it came from. It just popped into my head. And the quote says, "Sometimes I find my head spinning, not because of alcohol, but because of my life." And I believe that's a quote from Lady Gaga. I think that's what I read. So I wanted something to be behind. Like when you lifted it, I didn't want it to just be like plain. So I just took some quirky images from Crowbit Studios or Mischief Circus. And I just thought having some faces poking out around would be cute. And, oops, sorry. And that's all I did. I didn't want it to be too busy because you have the spiral thing, and I thought it was enough as it was. Just wanted something to see when you pulled it up. So again, using the miracle tape to stick it to my background. And that will be it for day 30 and for the whole Everything Circles challenge. I want to thank you so much for watching all my videos for this challenge and for all your beautiful, sweet comments. I've been really lucky with the people that comment on my videos. Like, everybody's been so nice. And that's really great because I know there are people out there that can be mean. And it makes you nervous to put videos out and to do anything where just anybody can comment and say things. And you know, people get brave when they're hiding behind a computer. But I've been lucky. Everybody has been so nice. You are all so great, and I thank you. So I will have one more video for this challenge, and like I said, that's just for the construction of the book. And then it'll be whatever. Who knows what'll be coming after this. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye.